Hello Internet, and welcome to the final day of the 30-day video game music challenge with me, Demogen, as I have been going through and attempting and often failing the hard... Actually, no, I haven't failed the hard mode challenge. I've failed some of the individual challenges, but I don't think I've failed the actual hard mode version in and of itself. Workday 30, it's credits music, it's the end of the game, it's the end of the playlist, and there was really only one choice for this. Now you might be thinking, Demogen, you are a massive Final Fantasy fanboy. Surely you have chosen some Final Fantasy end credits theme. And you might well think that, and you'd be wrong. Not just because I have exhausted my options when it comes to the credit themes that I actually like from the various games, because I've used 7, 8, I've mentioned 12, I've mentioned 14, I've mentioned 11. Yeah, there are games that I could have chosen for this, but if I'm honest, it was never going to be anything except this. I missed the play button then. I don't think I can play too much of this. I think it'll get copyright claimed. Any of you all know what it is? This is M4 Part 2 Haunts from the original Mass Effect soundtrack. This took me by surprise. It was so out of left field. I didn't expect a piece of music with lyrics like this at the end of the game. Now, keep in mind, of the 3 games in the original trilogy of Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect actually is the one that I like the least. From a player point of view, the story is great, but I prefer the more shooter nature of 2 and 3, and even Andromeda. That's when I feel like the series found its footing, its niche. And I'm still, in a way, very, very sad that the guy that wrote the plots for the first Mass Effect left before the second, because you can really tell that there's a change of direction in terms of narrative. It's one of the many things that gets messed up when it comes to the story of Mass Effect. You know, there's stuff about dark energy and dark matter that is introduced in the first game that just never really goes anywhere, and it feels like it could have gone to really interesting places if they'd had the same writer, but they don't. So yeah, this was kind of out of left field. It's a little bit like the piece of music that plays over the credits in the movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise, which is a film I really, really like. But yeah, it just took me by surprise, and yet it works so very well with the tone of Mass Effect, with the sci-fi nature of it, with what they were going for, with the rest of the music. It just fits really, really nicely. And it sets a precedent for the music going forwards, you know. As I've already mentioned Mass Effect 2. Where did I mention Mass Effect 2? Yeah, music from a shooter, Day 8. I mentioned the suicide mission and the 4 pieces of music that led up to it. Mass Effect, all of the Mass Effect games have got good music. And I know Andromeda is a game that a lot of people love to take the mick out of. And it's a game that I didn't finish because it's huge. But I enjoyed it. to a degree. Did I enjoy it as much as Mass Effect 2? No. Mass Effect 2 is the best of the Mass Effect games. Mass Effect 3 is a really good game, spoiled by a fairly crappy ending. Even the extended edition endings aren't very good. And I'm almost certain that there was a lot of uproar about their vision, their creative vision. Pretty certain that was not part of the original writers' eventual vision for what happened to Shepard. And don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily believe that video game characters that you've played as have to have a happy ever after ending. I can appreciate the actual choice that Shepard has to make. I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is the lack of weight your decisions have on that ending. All the war resources or whatever they were called really don't seem to factor into it. All of the choices that you made leading up to it don't factor into it. They factor in a little bit more, I believe, in the extended ending. But I feel like they could have done a lot more. I'm not one of those people that says, oh yeah, Shepard has to live and live happily ever after. Sometimes the hero dies in the end. What's that from? What have I just quoted? Sometimes the hero dies in the end. Oh yeah, I'm quoting Samael from Darksiders, aren't I? Yeah, sometimes the hero dies in the end, which of course is what happens to War in Darksiders. M4 Part 2. Jack Wall, Sam Hullock. The final track on the original Mass Effect soundtrack from 2007. Still my least favourite game in the series in terms of mechanics, but still a good game. If for me Mass Effect 1 is the lowest bar, it's still a high bar. It's just lower that it's lower than 2, 3 and Andromeda for me. Great music throughout though. So that's it, folks. That is the 30-day video game music challenge done. Hard mode completed. I didn't repeat any games as my actual choice. I'm going to put out a video tomorrow, I think, just to wrap up July with the whole lot just written down so that people can very quickly check my list. I've kept spoilers out of the thumbnails and out of the video descriptions and out of the tags. So if you've stuck with it, if you've watched every one of these videos, thank you very much for joining me. If you've just popped in for one or two, that's great as well. Let me know what your favourite credits music is down in the comments below. Once again, I love experiencing new video game music, so I'm always really keen to know new things, what other people love. Because music is like that. It's so subjective, and people hit me, or music hits me with new feelings and emotions every time I play a new game. Until next time, folks, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.